Hi, my name is Marco. I am the Facilities and Operations Manager at the Cincinnati Sports Club here. I've been in this role since 2015. However, I've spent my entire professional career at the Cincinnati Sports Club, starting shortly after I graduated college in August of 2013. So, pre-pandemic, typically our fresh air dampers on all of our HVAC units is set to 20%. And that's kind of due to, so 20% of all incoming air is fresh air. And this was in accordance with the American Academy of Sports Medicine. That's their recommendation for health clubs, fitness facilities, places where there's strenuous activity and there's high air movement. What this means is that every 6 minutes, all the air in the club had been exchanged with fresh conditioned air. In February, before it was officially labeled a global pandemic and it hadn't really hit the States yet, we decided to open our fresh air dampers to 50% in accordance with our already existing pandemic plan. What this means is that instead of every 6 minutes fresh air being exchanged within the club, fresh air is being all the air in the club is being exchanged with fresh air every 1.5 to 3 minutes. And you've probably noticed this more in a temperature setting. So in February, there were a few days where the inside of the club was a little colder than it should be, and it usually is. And then in some of the hotter summer months, especially on the fitness floor in the main gym, you probably noticed that the air was a little warmer, maybe felt a little more humid. This was due to the fact that 50% of the air being brought in was fresh air and that it was getting exchanged in the environment every 1.5 to 3 minutes. So now I really wanted to give you all kind of a practical experiment, kind of showing kind of what this looks like in real life. So this is what we call a return vent. It's basically sucking air out of the environment, which is the fitness floor right now. This combines with the vents themselves that actually distribute the fresh air into it. So this is pulling all of the air out of this room to allow it to be replaced. I have kind of 3 items I'm going to use. So one, very simple piece of paper. As you can see, it's definitely pulling it pretty strongly. And pull that off just so it doesn't clog up it. Next, going with a little heavier piece of cardstock. Once again, I don't even have to touch it to it. It just kind of sucks it in itself. And finally, and this is kind of the real oh yeah moment, is we have cardboard box. You can see it's empty. I have not broken it down. I haven't filled it with anything. There's no rabbits in it. And then it's just going to, and then it's fairly heavy. It's probably about 2 pounds. 1 pound, 2 pounds, I would say. And it just goes, whoa. And it is even getting held to it. Finally, we have a slightly bigger, but not necessarily heavier box. And you can see, once again, same story. I do want to try. And finally, you can always. Now we want to kind of look at our wet areas. As you can probably tell, we're in one of our private changing rooms. However, these are in every one of our toilet areas, every one of our shower areas, and also in the locker room facilities. It's very similar to what I showed you on the fitness floor with that huge return vent that was holding the boxes up against it. And these are kind of these are called inline fans. So instead of being right on the other side of that grate and very audible, it's up towards the roof, so the fan is inaudible, although it is running 24/7, just like all of our HVAC systems. A way to kind of know if it's working is this tissue test. See? It's really stuck on there. Right now I'm on the cardio floor. It's just an extension of the fitness floor. This includes both fitness, weight training, and cardio. The air in this environment is being exchanged every 2.5 minutes. So you probably recognize the floor in here and not much else. This is our repurposed strength training area, and the air in this environment is being exchanged every 3 minutes. Right now I'm in, as you can probably tell, our spinning studio. In this environment, air is being exchanged with fresh air every 3 minutes. Hey, now I'm in group exercise studio A, or more the high intensity studio. The air in this environment is exchanged every 1.5 minutes. And finally, we are in studio B. Some of the such as bar classes and yoga classes take place in here. And similarly to group A, the air in this environment is being exchanged every 1.5 minutes. So now I'm outside in front of one of our 10 rooftop units that we have around the building. And if you can kind of look in here, you'll see the belt moving. This is the fan for it. So that's basically the fan that runs in that pushes air into the facility itself. And really ideal. So, and these fans actually run 24/7. So we're running this all the time, whether or not the air is getting cooled or heated. One of the main differences from your house is that whenever you're at your house or residential or even businesses, offices, the fan will only run when it's calling for either air conditioning or calling for heating. So it's not all the time. As you know, your AC is not running all the time, your heat's not running all the time. Same here. Our AC isn't running all the time and our heat's not running all the time. However, our fan is running all the time. It's ran after hours, it's ran before hours, it's 24/7. When we're closed, when we're open, it's always running. And then if you kind of move over here, you'll see our air filters. You'll see these in your house, or if you don't know them in your house, it's probably time to change them. But we change these out every other month. It is recommended that they be changed out every 3 months. And if you're at home, you probably change them out when you remember to do so. Another thing that's worth noting is that these are MERV 10 rated filters, which means they filter more than an N95 mask will. And then finally, in addition to us swapping them out every other month, and the belts running all the time, is we have Monroe, our HVAC contractor, PM, which means they conduct preventative maintenance on these units quarterly. And basically what they do is they come out, they hose down everything that's needed, they make sure bearings are running, they make sure the belts haven't slipped, and they replace it all every 3 months. In addition to corrective maintenance we do when we need to call them out and do something. So to recap, we wanted to kind of emphasize that our fresh air dampers are open to 50%, whereas some of the CDC guidelines were 20%. I also wanted to kind of emphasize that we did a lot of this stuff back in February, before this was even named a national pandemic or a worldwide pandemic, in the effort to provide a safe environment, a safely well-ventilated environment for our members. And we wanted to make this video to kind of encourage everyone who's still at home, who still doesn't feel very comfortable coming in, to kind of show you that you can be comfortable coming in, you can be safe coming into this environment. It costs a little extra as far as like heating and cooling costs, but it's been totally worth it so far. We've had a lot of success on the fitness floor and group exercise and throughout the facility. If you would like to schedule a call with someone, with me, I'm here almost all the time, so I'm very available, but any of our staff members would love to talk to you, would love to kind of show you the club, would love to give you a little tour of the club. You can wear a mask if you feel less than comfortable on it, but we're confident that after a tour, you would want to come back, and we want you to come back too. We miss you all, and we hope to see you soon.